This week, I'm going to lead you through a standing yoga practice for strengthening and stretching the legs. Let's get started. For this practice, I would recommend having your screen at the long side of the mat, so it's easier for you to follow as we turn from one side to the other. I have a couple of blocks with me here, one at each end of the mat. Those are optional props, but if you normally use blocks, especially under hands in some standing poses, then have some blocks or books or boxes nearby that you might use as we go through the practice. And then when you are ready, just find yourself in some sort of a wider legged standing pose. We're just going to take a moment here to breathe before we go into our gentle but quite strong yoga practice for the legs. And now you could bring your both hands on your lower belly, or you could have one hand on the belly, other hand on your chest. And then if you feel stable, you can close your eyes and just give yourself a few slightly slower, maybe slightly deeper breaths in and out. And you can let your breaths sink down towards the belly, down towards the bottom of the ribs. Allowing shoulders to soften, allowing neck to soften. So trying to breathe a bit lower down than up to the shoulders and neck. Just notice how the weight feels on your 2 feet. Are you maybe leaning more to one side than the other? Are you maybe leaning more on your heels or more on the toes? And just see if you can find your weight to center. We'll take a couple more breaths here, in and out. If Ujjayi breath is a part of your practice, you might find a gentle Ujjayi breath now before we start to flow, before we start to move more. And then if you have your eyes closed, slowly open your eyes. And you could release your hands, release your arms down next to your sides. We're going to start our practice, our flow, with hips, legs slightly rotated open as we go through the very beginning of the golden seed sequence. And you'll notice parts of the golden seed as we go through this sequence today. So first, legs wide apart, rotated open, so that when you bend your knees and toes still move in the same direction. And then extend your legs, lengthen arms down next to your sides. As you inhale, lengthen arms overhead. As you exhale, bend the knees, push hands out to the side like you're pushing walls away. Inhale, extend the legs, reach arms up. Exhale again, bend the knees and push hands, arms out to the sides. 3 more rounds. Inhaling, lengthening up. Exhaling, bending the knees, arms moving out to the sides. Inhalation, feet press down, reaching up. Exhaling, lowering down, arms, hands pushing out like you're pushing walls away. 1 more time. Inhaling, lengthen up. Exhale, bend the knees, arms lengthening, pushing out to the sides. Inhale, lengthen up. And now, turn your toes towards the long side of the mat and then bring palms together as you exhale, fold forward. And you can bring your hands or fingertips on the mat. You can still adjust your feet so you find this wide-legged forward bend. Now, bring your left hand to your right foot, ankle or shin. And then as you inhale, twist out to the right. Right arm can reach up, or you can bring right arm behind the back. Take a couple of breaths here. If you want, you might bend your right knee, but keep your left leg extended. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, release that twist. Come back to that full forward bend. Now walk hands to your left foot and bring right hand to your left foot, ankle or shin. And then as you inhale, twist out to the left. At the same time, you can reach your head away from the tail. The left arm could reach up, or you can bring left arm behind the back, and you might bend your left knee if you want. Take another breath in and out here. Let your chest open. Exhale, release the twist. Come back to center, back to that full forward bend. As you exhale, bend your knees and inhale, roll the back up. Bring pelvis under the back. Bring hands to your lower belly. You can extend the legs and take a couple of breaths here in and out. And let your breath sink down towards the belly. A little reset. And then we're going to move into the triangle pose. We go to the right side first. So now rotate your right hip, right foot open. You can slightly close your left hip and foot. And then as you inhale, reach arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, tilt down towards that right leg. You could lower your right hand on the right foot, ankle or shin. And now inhale, reach the left arm up. You might even look up to your left hand. Allow your pelvis to tilt towards the right. And again, here a long line from head to your tail. If your neck gets tense, you could look down towards the mat. And take another breath in and out. Again, you might slightly bend your right knee if that feels better, if you feel safer. And then as you exhale, start releasing that left hand, left arm down. Turn your toes towards that short end of the mat and bend the right knee so you find a low runner's lunge. This is where you could bring a block under the left hand. We're going to inhale, twist out to the right. And like in our previous twist, you might reach the right arm up, or you might bring right arm behind the back. That might give more space for your shoulder to release. Might give more space for you to twist. And here as well, you might look down if that releases the neck more. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly release the twist. Bring both hands down and then turn into that wide-legged forward bend. So turning both feet, toes towards the long end of the mat, folding forward. Maybe hands or fingertips on the mat. As you exhale, bend your knees. As you inhale, roll the back up. And again, bring hands to your lower belly. Take a couple of breaths in and out here. Soften the shoulders, soften the neck. Still feeling the legs, feet active and strong. We're going to go into the triangle and the lunge with a twist on the other side. So now rotate your left hip, left foot open. You might slightly close the right foot, the right hip. And then as you inhale, lengthen arms up overhead. As you exhale, tilt your pelvis to left, open the arms. And now you could bring your left hand on the left foot, ankle or shin. You might bend the left knee if you want. And reach the right arm up. Take a couple of breaths here. If you want, you can always bring that arm down, the top arm down, if that feels better. So listen to your shoulders, feet active. So feet pressing down, fronts of the legs active. Take another breath here, in and out. And then, as you exhale, slowly start to turn your gaze down, bring hands on the mat. Turn into that runner's lunge. And again, there could be a block under the right hand now. We're going to inhale, twist to the left. So turning through the ribs, turning through the chest, and then see where the left arm goes. Again, it might reach up, or you might bring your left arm behind the back. There's that long line from head to tail. Take a couple of breaths in and out. Your right arm actively kind of pushing, pressing the floor away. And then as you exhale, close the twist. Bring hands down. Turn both feet toes towards the long side of the mat and come back to that wide-legged forward bend. Head can drop down, release the neck. And then as you exhale, bend the knees. As you inhale, start to roll the back up. This time, bring hands into a cup. Lift your hands in front of the chest. And then turn palms up towards the ceiling. Open the arms into like a V shape. And we're going to rotate the hips. We're going to rotate the feet open. We're going to prepare for the drinking bird. So arms reaching up, feet pressing down. The star pose. As you exhale, now bend your knees, swing arms behind the back, and tilt your pelvis, tilt your back forward. Head can come down as well. Then keep your knees bent, reach your back and arms up into an open horse. So knees stay bent, but we reach the back and arms up. You might even look up. Keeping the knees bent. Exhale again down into that drinking bird. You can let your pelvis tilt. You can let your spine round, arms swing behind the back. And inhale, lifting the back up, still keeping knees bent. Kind of sitting between the legs, sitting on a very big horse. Opening the chest. One more time. Exhaling, bending forward, keeping the knees bent. Feet strong on the mat. And inhale, now lift your back, your arms up, and then extend your legs. So you're reaching up. And then as you exhale, bring hands to your lower belly. You can turn toes towards the long side of the mat, so bringing feet to parallel. And take a couple of breaths here, in and out. And again, just a reset. Letting the breath calm down. And then release your hands, release your arms. Now turn towards your right foot and find a high lunge where your right knee is bent, left leg extended behind you. And then as you inhale, reach your arms up, opening through the chest. A small back bend. Keeping legs where they are. Exhale, round the back. And again, swing arms next to your sides or even behind you, like in that drinking bird. Inhale, lift the back up. Now you might bend the left knee behind you as you come up and open through the chest. Same again. Exhaling, rounding the back. Swing arms next to you or behind you. And inhaling up, opening through the front line. You might even look up if that feels good. And then one more round. Exhaling, rounding the back. Head can come down. And inhaling, lifting up, opening the chest. And then as you exhale, bring your hands all the way down onto the mat. We're going to lower the left knee down. You can release the left foot toes. And again, you have an option to bring block under the left hand. Now we're going to bend the left knee and then inhale, twist to the right and see if you could reach right hand maybe to left foot toes or the foot or ankle. If that hurts, just extend that left leg again behind you. You can bring that left foot down on the mat. It's potentially a big opening along the front line of that left leg, left hip. There's a bit of twisting, there's maybe a bit of back bending going on. Just breathe through the pose. Take another breath here, in and out. And then as you exhale, if you are holding the left foot, just release the foot down, bring your both hands on the mat, and then we're going to turn into a one-sided or side squat. So now, lift yourself slightly off the mat so you can turn towards the long side of the mat, bend the right knee, and then sit down into a side squat where your left leg is extended on the side. You have your right leg bent, right heel doesn't have to be on the mat. And if you want, you could use a block here under the pelvis. That might give some nice support for the pose. You choose if you want to keep your hands on the mat. If you want to bring palms together in front of the chest. Or you might add one more twist here if you want. Wrap your right arm around the right leg and then bring left arm behind you and see if you could reach fingertips, hands together behind your pelvis. And then open the chest out to the left. But don't push. If it doesn't feel good, don't force it. And make sure you can still breathe. Take another breath here, in and out. And then if you are in that twist or you have hands together, just release your arms, bring hands on the mat. We're going to go into that wide-legged forward bend. So bring hands on the mat, lift your pelvis up, and then adjust your legs just so that you can bring the weight onto 2 feet. Toes turn towards the long side of the mat. And you might rock or swing the upper body a bit from side to side. That full forward bend again. And then from here, we are going to come back up to that reset. So exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, roll the back up. Bring hands to your lower belly. Take a couple of breaths in and out. Let the shoulders, let the neck soften. Let the weight drop down onto 2 feet. And then we are going to go on the other side. So now turn towards the left foot into that high lunge. You can adjust your feet. They could be sideways, a bit wider apart so you find a stable place. And first, see if you could extend the right leg, bend the left knee. And then as you inhale, bring arms overhead, opening the chest. Then as you exhale, round the back. Swing arms next to your sides or even behind you. Head can come down. And inhale, lift the back up. And now you could bend the right knee. See if that changes your back bend, if you can keep the weight at the center. And again, exhale, rounding the back. Head can come down. You can even try to reach head towards the left knee. And inhaling up. Both feet active, trying to keep the weight in the center. Again, right knee could be bent. And exhaling again, rounding the back. Head can come down. And inhaling, lifting the back up, reaching arms up, opening through the chest. And then as you exhale, bring your hands all the way down on the mat. And then we're going to bring the right knee down. So go into a low lunge. And you could use a block under the right hand, or you can just have the right hand on the mat. We're going to bend the right knee behind us. See how that feels. And then inhale, twist to the left. And see if you could reach left hand maybe to that foot, toes, maybe holding the ankle for some of us. And breathe. Again, if it feels like a challenge to reach, then having a block under that right hand might help, because it often gives a bit more space to twist and reach for the foot. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale slowly. Release the right foot if you were holding the foot. Bring hands to the mat. We go into that side squat. So lift yourself slightly off the mat so that you could now bend or keep the right leg bent. Open the left leg and open the right leg out to the side. You could have a block under the pelvis again if that gives you support. That might take also pressure away from the knees, away from the hips. And either hands on the mat, palms together, or we have an option for that twist. So if you want, you can bring your left arm around the left leg, then reach right arm behind the back, and then finding a twist. And now if the side squat feels really challenging, I really suggest using a prop under the pelvis, because it takes pressure off the hips, of the knees, but it can still allow you that shape, allow the opening in the inner legs. You can give a bit more space and time for the breaths. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, release your arms, bring hands on the mat, and then we're going to go into that wide-legged forward bend one more time. So adjust your feet, you can move props aside if needed, and just take a couple of breaths in that full wide-legged forward bend. You can shake the head. And then from this forward bend, we're going to walk into a very brief downward dog. So you can walk to your right foot, you can walk to your left foot, which one feels more natural. Bring your hands, bring your feet on the mat, and let yourself take a couple of steps from one foot to the other. It's just releasing the calves, releasing the feet. And then from your downward facing dog, we're going to come down onto hands and knees, and then turn to sit down on the mat. So they have your legs in front of you. And we're going to roll down onto the back. Slowly bringing your back, leaving feet on the mat. And then we're going to go into the bridge pose. So have your feet maybe roughly hip width apart on the mat. And then as you exhale, press down through the feet, lift your pelvis, lift your back off the mat. Either stay here or walk your shoulder blades closer together. Bring hands together under the pelvis if you want. So this is all optional for the arms. And take a few more breaths in and out wherever you are in your bridge pose. Keep inner thighs active. Keep your feet pressing down. Feel the heels pressing down. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Bring your back down, release the arms. And then you could do a few windshield wipers. Just swinging a bit from side to side. You can rock your head from side to side as well. And then we're going to go into the figure 4 pose, or some people call this thread the needle for the legs. So now leave your left foot on the mat and open your right hips. You bring your right ankle, foot or shin onto the left thigh. And you can stay here, maybe help the hands to gently open that right hip. Or you can reach hands behind the left thigh or knee and then gently hug the legs a bit closer to the belly, a bit closer to the chest. So looking for some gentle opening around the right buttock, thigh. Maybe you feel this in the lower back. If you want, you could even extend the left leg if that feels good. So kind of kicking the heel up towards the ceiling. You might change how the pose feels. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly start to release the pose, bringing your feet on the mat. And again, you could do a couple of windshield wipers. So allowing that sideways movement. And then we're going to do the thread the needle on the other side, or figure 4, whatever we want to call it today. We're going to leave the right foot on the mat. Open the left hip, so your left ankle, left foot comes onto the right thigh. And again, you can stay here with the right foot on the mat. Or reach your hands behind the right thigh and hug the legs closer to your belly, closer to your chest. Trying to keep the neck and shoulders soft, although we are using the arms. If you want, you might extend the right leg. You might make a different choice on the second side. Take one more breath in and out here. And then as you exhale, slowly release your feet down, release the pose. Bring both legs down. Rock a bit from side to side. And then it's time to find Shavasana pose. So bring yourself into your resting pose. This could be any pose, lying down on the back, where you feel you could let your feet relax. You could let your legs relax. If you want, you can bring hands to your lower belly, or one hand on the belly, the other hand on the chest. You can close your eyes and give yourself a moment to breathe here, just checking in with your breath. Allow each breath out to make your whole body just a bit heavier. Allowing the mat, the floor to carry you, to support you. And allowing each breath out to soften tension. Strengthening, we've been building tension throughout that standing part of the practice. Now give yourself a moment to just rest, relax. And check in with how you're feeling in this moment. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in your Shavasana pose. And then after those 5 to 10 breaths, if you feel like you want to extend this Shavasana pose, if you want to stay here longer, just do it. Just let yourself stay as long as is needed. Or if you feel that you'd like to slowly start waking up your body, you could take a bigger, deeper breath in and out. Bring some gentle movement to your hands and feet, fingers, toes. You could lengthen arms overhead along the floor. Just gently reach hands and feet away from each other. And then in your own time, when you feel ready, you could roll down onto one side. Bring yourself up into a seat, into your own final seat, where you could give yourself a few more breaths to slowly let go of the practice. And as always, at the end of the practice, if it's a part of your practice, you can bring palms together in front of the chest. And most importantly, thank yourself for taking this time to bring yourself onto your mat, into your practice, into your body and your breath. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing this practice and sharing this time. Namaste. Thank you.